Hey guys, welcome back once again. This is Shrikant Rathod. Today's topic is factors or divisors. So in today's class, we'll be discussing about the definition of factors and what are the types of question you may expect based on this. So let's start. A factor or a divisor of integer n is an integer which divides n without leaving a remainder. Let me take an example. If I say 6 is divisible by which all the numbers? It's divisible by 1, 2, 3 and 6 itself. These all numbers are called factors or divisors of 6, right? In general, if m is a factor of n for non-zero integers, there exists an integer k such that n is equals to k times m. So the meaning of this sentence is I can say 2, 3 and 6 and so on. These are the factors of 6, or I can also say the 6 here which we are represented, the 6 is a multiple of 2, 6 is a multiple of 3 and so on. So any number, the prime number or the original number here is always the multiple of its factor. So 6 is multiple of 1, 6 is multiple of 2 and 6 is the multiple of 3 as well. So these factors multiplied by some integer, you'll be getting the result, right? That is the meaning. Okay. 1 and -1 are divisor of every integer. Yes, this is very true, because any number multiplied by 1 or dividing by 1, it doesn't change the result. So I can say 1 times 6, that gives you 6 itself. 1 by 6 by 1, that gives you the 6. There is no change in the result. But whenever you multiply the number by negative, the sign of that number gets changed, multiply or divide by negative. So I can say 6 by -1. So now this time your result is going to be -6, or -1 times 6, it's gonna be again the result is -6. If you are multiplying by 1, result doesn't change, but if you are multiplying by -1, the result becomes negative. Okay, this is the point. Now every integer is a divisor of itself. Yes, always true, because every integer are divisible by themselves. So it's 2 is divisible by 2, 3 is divisible by 3 and so on. Of course there are some, these are the prime numbers. So 4, I can say 4 is divisible by 4. Of course the 4 is also divisible by 2 also, but we are talking about every integer that's divisible by themselves, right? Okay, now let's talk about third point here. Every integer is a divisor of 0 except 0 itself. So we know n0 over any number, whether negative or positive, 0 over any number, its result is always 0. So example, I say 0 by 5, it's 0. 0 by 100, it's 0. No matters whatever the denominator is, it's always 0. But you can't say 0 by 0. That is what we say the condition except 0 itself. Okay, right. A positive divisor of n which is different from n, it's called a proper divisors, which are different from n, and the positive divisors of n are called a proper divisor. So now what I can say, what are the proper divisors of n? 6 here in our example we had 6 is divisible by 1, 2, 3 and 6 we said. The number which are different from 6, these all numbers are called a proper divisors, right? Okay. If a number equals the sum of its proper divisors, it is said to be a perfect number. So if the number equals a sum of its proper divisors, again let's take an example. 6 is divisible, sum of its proper divisor. 6 is basically sum of 1 plus 2 plus 3. So sum of their proper divisors is equals to the number itself. Then this number is said to be a perfect number. Then I can say 6 is a perfect number. All right, so this is the way of representing. Now let's see some other related questions and the concepts relating with the factors. If A is a factor of B and A is a factor of C, then A is a factor of B plus C. In general, A is a factor of MB plus NC for all integers M and N. So what does it mean? Let's take, if A is a factor of B, let me take an example, the value of A as 2, A is a factor of B, let me take B as 4, and A is a factor of C, so let me take C as 8. It's an example, because A can divide B, A can also divide C, that is 4 is divisible by 2 and 8 is also divisible by 2. Then A is a factor of B plus C, then it means, like, A can also divide the sum of the B and C. So we can say 4 plus 8, 12. So A is a factor of 12 also. That is the meaning of this word. In general, A is a factor of any multiples of B plus any multiples of C. Right? So this is the mean. Second point. If A is a factor of B and B is a factor of C, then A is a factor of C. So these are the variety of questions they include, which makes you confused, but it's very simple. So for this type of question, I suggest you to just take a simple numbers based on the conditions given and try to multiply or divide whatever the operations they want you to do, right? If A is a factor of B, so I'll be choosing the number. Let's take A is equals to 2 and let's take B is equals to, let's take 6. A is a factor of B. It means A can divide B. 2 can divide 6. Yes. And B is a factor of C. Now this number should divide another number. Then let me take C as 12. I can't take C here as 8 because 8 is not divisible by 6. So 12 is divisible by 6. So then A is a factor of C. If this number can divide this and this number can divide this, then definitely this number can also divide this number. That is the meaning. So A can also divide C, that is 12 is divisible by 2. If A is a factor of B and B is a factor of A, then either they should be equal with each other or they should be negative with the same value. So when I'm saying A is a factor of B and B is a factor of A, it is possible if and only if the numbers are equal, exactly equal, or the equal with the negative sign. So I can say 2 is a factor of 2, or I can also 2 is a factor of negative 2. That is the mean. If A is a factor of B times C and the greatest common divisor of B times C is 1, sorry, B and C is 1, then A is a factor of either B or A is a factor of either or C. Okay, so what is it? A is a factor of B times C. Let me take an example. A is 2, B is, let's take 4, and C is, let's take 3. Okay, now what is the value we are getting it as? B times C. B times C here is 4 times 3, it is 4 times 3, that is 12. In this one, A is either a factor of B or A is either a factor of C. So I are saying the greatest common factor or the greatest common divisor of B and C is 1. So what it is? It means a B and C, that is 4 and 3, are not multiple of each other, or 4 and 3 they never come in a individual table, right? So that is the reason we say the greatest common divisor of this number is 1 if they are not multiple, or there is not, there is only one number which can divide 4 and 3 at the same time, that is 1. The 4 and 3 are not divisible by a single number which is apart from 1, and that is, we say, the greatest common factor of this 4 and 3 is 1. Okay, so in this case a has to be either a factor of b or either a factor of c. So this is how we represent. If p is a prime number and p is a factor of a times b, similarly, so like what this is GCD type, if p is a prime number and p is a factor of ab, then p is either a factor of a or p is a factor of b. Same. So if I say p is a prime number, let me take p is, let's take 3, and let's take a times b, I can write it here as, let's take 24. Then in this one, this 24 has been made by the two numbers, so a times b, let's take this number maybe 6 times 4. Okay, this number has been made 24 as 6 times 4, that is 24. Now in this case, if I take this is the value as a and this is the value as b, so p can divide either a or p can divide b, but it can't divide both the numbers. Okay, that is the meaning. So in this case, so p can divide a, that is p can divide, or 3 can divide 6, but 3 can't divide 4 here. That is the meaning of the p is either a factor of a or p is either a factor of b. Alright, so let's move next. Yes, this is what we discussed only about the factors and the rules and the relations. So the type of question what you may expect based on the factors here is, the first, they may tell you finding the number of factors of an integer. So if an integer is very small, or if the integer is known, so it's very easy to find the number of factors. But what if the integer is very large? So while finding that, so we definitely gonna waste our time. So instead of doing that, so it's better to follow the rule. The rule says to find the number of factors of an any integer n, so no matters how big that number is, so we have to follow this rule. First, prime factorize that integer, so divide that integer into their prime factors, and then follow this rule. Okay, so look, if n is an integer, and I'll be doing the prime factorization of that, where a to the power p times b to the power q times c to the power r, where a comma b and c are the prime numbers and p, q and r are their powers. So in that case, so we can calculate how many factors that integer n has is by using this rule. So p plus 1 times q plus 1 times r plus 1. So this is the prime factorization of that, and this is the finding the number of factors. But whatever the factors we are calculating, that those factor includes the 1 and the number itself. Let me take a simple example here to make you clear. Let's take 30. Let's take the value of n as 30. Now what are the prime factors of 30 here? Prime factors of 30 here is 2. 30 can be expressed as 2 times 3 times 5, right? So this is how we find the prime factorization. So I always say whenever the number multiples of tens or the number ending with 0, I always say separate them it as 3 into 10, right? So what are the factors, the prime factors of 10? 2 and 5, and this is 3, right? So the all the factors here of 30 is 2 times 3 times 5, right? But 2 is appearing only once, 3 is also appearing only once, and the q is also 5 is also only appearing once. So the value of p as per this expression here is 1, q is 1, and r is also 1, right? So now the number of factors, so number of factors of 30 we can say here as per this rule, p plus 1 times q plus 1 times r plus 1. So that is the value of p here we know as 1. 1 plus 1 times q is also 1. 1 plus 1 times r is also 1. So sorry, 1 plus 1. So add them, this is 1. Okay, add them 1 here, add them all, 2 times 2 times 2. So there are total 8 factors of 30. So what are those? What are those? Now look at, So 30 is divisible by 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. What else? 10, 15 and 30 itself, because these whatever the factors we are calculating, those includes 1 and itself. And if there is a question what are the factors of a number apart from 1 and the number itself, then you just need to find the factors first and then minus 2. Okay, remember, minus the first and the last factor of that. So if you count that, there are total 8 numbers here. So this is the number of factors. This is how you calculate the number of factors for the any integer. Let's take another example. Let's take another example. Let me erase this. Okay. Let's take another example here. Find the how many factors of a number 450. Let's find the how many factor this number has. First, I have to write this 450 in terms of a prime. So I can write here the 450 can be written as 45 times 10, right? Then do the by the either by factor tree method or by any other method. If you know, just prime factorize this 45. 45 is written as 9 times 5, right? But 9 is not a prime number. You have to split this 9 in terms of its prime. So it's gonna be 3 times 3, right? And the 10 can be written as 2 times 5, right? So these all are the prime numbers. Now the prime factors are 450. I can write it here as how many times 3 is appearing, how many times 2 is appearing, and how many times 5 is appearing here. 2 is appearing only once, then I say 2 to the power 1. 3 is appearing twice, so 3 to the power 2 times, and the 5 is appearing twice, the 5 to the power 2. Now, so number of factors here. Now from this one, tell me what is the value of P, what is the value of Q, and what is the value of R. The value of P here is 1, the value of Q here is 2, that is the power of this, and the value of R it's gonna be 2. So remember, you may get confused here when I'm doing the prime factorization. It is not necessary that your prime numbers are only 3 or only 2. There may be as any number of prime, the prime numbers. It may be 2, 3, 4, 5, doesn't matter. If you are getting it like some other numbers, let's take c d to the power s something, then you will be doing here as s plus 1. You are multiplying at all with the s plus 1 and so on. Okay, in general this is I'm representing. So the number of factors here I can say is 1 plus 1 times 2 plus 1 times 2 plus 1. So it's 2 times 3 times 3. So there are 18 factors are there in total, including 1 and 450 itself. So this is the way of calculating how many factors. But if you say, let's take, if you do manually to finding the what are the factors of 450, of course first you will be taking 1, then you will be doing it as 2, then let's say 3, then you will be going. So it takes a lot time for you to calculate how many these, like how many these are. So just that we can remember the rule here and we can find how many factors the numbers are, no matter how big that number is. So we can find factors for any, right? Okay, so let's erase. Let me just take another example. Okay, so let's take, I'm just taking some number. Okay, so n is the any number which is multiple of 2 and 3 and 5 and 7. So 30, so that's, or I can say 210, right? So what we say, 210, the fact, if you find the factor of 210, that's what we're gonna do. So 2 to the power 1, 3 to the power 1, 5 to the power 1 and 7 to the power 1. In this case, to find the factors here, I can say, I can use the same rule here. I just need to do power plus 1. How many times they are appearing? 1 times 1, 1 plus 1. I'm saying this power because the value of P here is, I can say P here is 1, Q here is 1, R here is 1 and S here is 1, as I have more than 3 factors this time. So again I can say formula, if I write p plus 1 times q plus 1 times r plus 1 times s plus 1, substitute their values, 1 plus 1 times 1 plus 1, so we are getting 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, so there are what we are getting the 16. So 210 has a 16 factors. Okay, so this is how we calculate if the more than 3 factors, or even though the number of factors may be 2, doesn't matter, the way of solving is just whatever their power plus 1, you just need to multiply them out, right? Okay, let's move to other type of question what you may expect. This is the little complicated compared to that, but if you understand the way, it becomes simple. Sometime you may also expect a question to find the sum of the factors. So in this case, I don't know how many factors these are, and I also don't know what are those, whether 1 2 3 4, whatever those, I don't know. But the sum of the factor here, what we are calculating here, is including the 1 and the number itself. Okay, so to find the sum of a factor, the first thing what I'm gonna do is find the prime factorization of the given number, take down the what are the prime numbers in that and what are the powers of that, and then use this rule, find this and what are the powers of that, and then use this rule. So this is the rule to find the sum of the factors. Let me take a simple example, 30 again, to make you clear. 30, we know that the prime factorization of 30 here is 2 to the power 1 times 3 to the power 1 times 5 to the power 1. So in this case, the value of a here is 2, b here is 3, and c here is 5, and the value of p, so powers, I'm writing according to this one, I'm writing according to this rule. Okay, so n is my 30 now, and their powers here are, value of p here is 1, so q here is 1, and r is also 1. To find the sum of that factor, so I have to make use of this rule. So what is the value of 2? We have 2 is a value here is 2, 2 to the power p plus 1, 1 plus 1 times 1 plus 1 minus 1. This minus 1 is from the result. Okay, the minus 1 we are doing it, whatever the result we are getting, this result minus 1 we are doing. 3 to the power 1 plus 1 minus 1, and 5 to the power 1 plus 1 minus 1. This divided by a minus 1, that is 2 minus 1 times 3 minus 1 times 5 minus 1. So what do you get? 2 to the power 1 plus 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 to the power 2 is 4, 4 minus 1 I am writing here as directly 3, and 3 to the power 2 is 9, so 9 minus 1 it's 8, 5 to the power 2 is 25, 25 minus 1 I am writing it as 24, and the denominator here are 2 minus 1 is 1, 3 minus 1 is 2, 5 minus 1 is 4. So you can, instead of bracket, you can represent with the multiplication sign as well. It's just a way of representing. So simplified, 8 8 get cancelled out. So what we are getting here, 24 times 3, so 24 times 3 is 72. So the sum of all the factors, of 30 gives you 72. Now let's take, just for your representation, 1 2 3 5 10 15 and 30. If you add these all their number, their sum is equivalent to 72. Add it, 30 plus 15 45, 45, 30 plus 15 is 45, 45 plus 10 is 55. Sorry, I have to include 6 also here, right? So 55 plus 6 is gonna be 61, 61 plus 6 is gonna be 66, 66 plus 3 is gonna be 69, 69 plus 2 is gonna be 71, 71 plus 1 it's gonna be 72. So when you add them all, so your result is 72. So this is how you calculate the sum of the factors. So here we are not interested which are those factors, we are just asking what are their sum, what are the sum of the factors of the given integer n. right? Okay, let's take another example relating with the same. Let me erase this. Okay, let's take another example. 450. Example, let's take 450. And we also did it like prime factorization of 450. We got it as 2 to the power 1 times 3 to the power 2 times 5 to the power 2, isn't it? I'm just writing direct from the previous, referring to the previous one question. Now, what is the value of A here? 2. The value of B here is what we are getting 3, and the value of C here is 5. But the value of P, Q and R are changing. So the value of P here is 1, Q here is 2, R here is 2. So make use of this formula. Sum is equals to 2 to the power P plus 1, 2 to the power 1 plus 1 minus 1 times 3 to the power 2 plus 1, because this time the value of Q is 2, 2 plus 1 minus 1 times 5 to the power 2 plus 1 minus 1. So this divided by 2 minus 1, 3 minus 1, 5 minus 1. So that simplifies 2 to the power 2. 4 minus 1, it's gonna be 3 times 2 to the power 3, it's gonna be, sorry, 3 to the power 3 is 27. 27 minus 1, it's gonna be 26 times 5 to the power 3, 125. 125 minus 1 is 124. So divide by 1 times 2 times 4. So let's do this. 4 times 1, 4 times 3, 4 times 1, that goes 2 times 1, 2 times 1 and 2 times 3, right? Okay, see, so what we are getting, 3 times 13 times 31. So 3 times 13 is what we get, 13, 3 times 13 is 39 times 31. Just do this, 39 times 31, what we gonna get? So first term it's gonna be 9 and 3 itself, so 3 times 9 is gonna be 27. So 7 carry 2, 3 times 3 is 9, 11. Just add it, what we gonna get? So when you add them all, you gonna get it as 9, 3 plus 7 is gonna be 10, 0 carry 1, it's gonna be 2. So the sum of the all the factors here is 1209. So sum of all the factors of 450, it's gonna be 1209. So this is the way you just need to remember this rule. So of course, if you just do like few practice questions relating with this, so then definitely you'll be remembering that, and you have to follow it. So not finding the factors and then adding that, that's going to be very time consuming. All right, that's it. That's it for the today's class. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next class. Thank you.